In other news, listed airline Kenya Airways has reported a 10.2 billion shillings after-tax loss in its latest trading results. It is not a report of all bad or all good, since things are, according to the airline, less bad than they were last year, when the loss was 26.2 billion shillings. The national carrier says more cost-cutting measures are coming up, even as it seeks to put a lead on its costs. The outgoing CEO, Mbuvi Ngunze, exuded confidence that the airline is on a firm turnaround trajectory. Katie Nzabiagina breaks down the numbers further and explains why KQ may not be out of the woods just yet.
Go back 2 slides.
In his last address as the Chief Executive Officer of Kenya Airways, Mbuvi Ngunze was seemingly rather a happier man than when he took over that position.
In Zimbabwe.
The reason for the smile, an improved performance at the airline, which more than halved its losses by about 61%, signaling fresh hopes that the airline could be turning a corner in profitability.
Our gross profit is up 35.7%. Our operating profit for the year, we swung to 900 million operating profit, which is a 122% swing from a 4.1 billion loss same period last year. That's a 5 billion improvement. And the losses after tax has reduced significantly, sharp drop of 61%.
And yeah, we have gone through some really tough times. And we are coming out of those tough times. And I think it's important that all the initiatives that have been done by Kenya Airways over the last year are bearing fruit.
Although KQ has faced bouts of turbulence mainly linked to ballooning operational costs, the airline's top managers are betting big on a better outlook, with cost-cutting measures already starting to pay off.
Despite the fact that we have reduced the available seat kilometers and the number of aircrafts in our network, we are flying more. We flew 5.3% more hours this year than last year. That just means, in another metric, that the aircraft utilization is significant.
Normalized condition, our profit would have been 4.4 billion, which is close to 4.2% margin. And that's a decent margin, operating margin in the airline industry. Those who are in the airline aviation industry will tell you that's decent for airline at operating levels.
A look at the books shows major improvements in passenger numbers and utilization of the aircraft. For instance, the number of passengers that flew on KQ grew by 5.4% to hit 4.5 million. Another measure of efficiency was the cabin factor, which rose 4% to 72.3%.
Even in a difficult time, we are growing. And thanks to you, thanks to our customers, thanks to everybody who still trusts and believes in Kenya Airways.
What will be the low-hanging fruit? I think the low-hanging fruit obviously will be the optimization of the revenue on the revenue side. Can we get more revenue from existing routes? Can we get more revenue from new routes?
On the revenue front, the airline posted a dip of 8.5% to 106 billion shillings on lower yields per passenger and reduction in cargo capacity. The airline closed the year with fleet ownership costs of 15.5 billion shillings, a reduction of 14 billion shillings from the previous year.
Incredible performance in a difficult environment. Intra-Africa traffic, as I mentioned, is up 13% year on year. And we are pushing for that to grow because we still have more capacity and we will be adding more frequencies across Africa.
Analysts have termed the results positive, noting that KQ's fortunes are now hinged on prudent cost management, coupled with aggressive route mapping and strategic expansion. Other key indicators that could see KQ rebound and fly back into profitability will also be informed by competitive pricing.
What you can see and what you've seen is the fact that we have increased the connectivity at the hub allows us to sell more potential seats right across our network.
We are using our fleet in a tactical way when we see that the situation for competitive reason or for market reason is deteriorating or improving. We can increase capacity or decrease capacity in a very tactical way.
Kenya Airways board chairman Michael Joseph paid special tribute to Ngunze for the bold leadership, at the same time noting that his exit at the airline will serve as a new phase for the carrier to tap fresh brains. Mbuvi's elder brother, Jeremy Gunze, who heads Commercial Bank of Africa, was also in attendance at the event to cheer on a man who will be passing on the mantle of leadership to new CEO Sebastian Mikołaj, who is of Polish extraction and is expected in the country in June to steer the airline hopefully